What if your biggest hero turned out to be kinder than your wildest dreams? Picture this. A-list stars nervously fanboying over Keanu Reeves, the man who quietly took pay cuts so his crew could eat better, who once waited in the rain outside his own party like a nobody. But when celebs finally meet him, their reactions will shock you. Imagine this. You're one of the biggest movie stars on the planet. Billions watch your films. Your face is everywhere. Yet you still ride the New York subway like any regular guy. That's Keanu Reeves. He exploded into fame with Speed, became a legend in The Matrix, and redefined action with John Wick. But here's what almost no one expects. The man behind the leather jacket never acts like a star. He treats janitors, drivers, and A-list actors exactly the same. No ego, no security walls, just quiet respect. What makes this even more mysterious? Keanu's life has been filled with heartbreaking pain most people never face. He lost his best friend, River Phoenix. He lost a child. He lost the woman he loved. His sister battled cancer for years. Any other celebrity might have turned bitter or disappeared into luxury. Keanu chose kindness instead. How does someone stay this grounded? Picture him standing in pouring rain outside his own rap party. The security guard didn't recognize him and refused entry. Most stars would flash their name and storm inside. Keanu? He waited patiently in line with everyone else. No complaints. No drama. Just a humble man in the rain. He once gave up huge chunks of his own salary on the Matrix sequels so the crew and special effects teams could get paid properly. Lesser-known fact. He's been spotted sharing lunch on the sidewalk with a homeless stranger for hours, talking like old friends. No cameras. No publicity. Just human connection. In a Hollywood packed with giant egos and flashy lifestyles, Keanu feels like a glitch in the system. Stars don't just respect him, they get nervous around him. They fanboy and fangirl hard because he feels like the real deal in an industry full of masks. You start to wonder, how does one man carry so much pain yet spread so much quiet goodness? What happens when other big celebrities finally meet their idol face to face? The answers will warm your heart and maybe even surprise you. Here are some of the most heartwarming moments when other stars met Keanu Reeves. Let's start with the relationships that turned into something deeper than just movies. First, Sandra Bullock. On the set of Speed, sparks flew, not romantic ones but something rarer, real friendship. Bullock once casually mentioned she had never tried truffles. Most people would forget. Keanu didn't. A few days later, he showed up at her door with flowers and fresh truffles. No cameras. No expectations. Just a thoughtful gesture. Bullock later said he's one of the best listeners she's ever met. In an industry where everyone talks about themselves, Keanu actually hears you. That small act tells you everything about the man. When stars get close to him, they don't want to leave. Suspense builds. How does someone stay this genuine after decades of fame? Next, Winona Ryder. Their story goes all the way back to Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1992. The director once asked Keanu to be mean to Winona in a scene to make her cry. He flat out refused. That moment bonded them for life. Years later, they both admitted to having healthy crushes on each other. And those feelings still make them smile today. Imagine two huge stars carrying quiet affection for 30 years. They still speak about each other with warmth and respect. It makes you wonder. In Hollywood, where relationships often fade fast, how does Keanu build ones that last? Then there's Priyanka Chopra on The Matrix Resurrections. She walked onto set feeling intimidated. Here she was working with a legend. Keanu noticed her nerves right away. Instead of brushing it off, he pulled her aside, told her she was doing great, and made her feel truly welcome. Priyanka later shared how powerful that simple encouragement felt coming from someone with nearly 40 years in the business. One kind word from Keanu can calm an entire room of stars. These co-star stories leave you hungry for more, because if he treats fellow A-listers this well, how does he treat everyone else? But it's not just longtime co-stars who get starstruck. Watch what happens when other big names meet Keanu for the first time. Take Ian McShane from the John Wick series. On set, Keanu would quietly bring him tea. No big show, just a small, thoughtful act. McShane couldn't stop praising how collaborative and kind Keanu was. He let others shine instead of stealing every scene. Halle Berry and other co-stars echo the same thing. They describe him as the guy who treats the stunt crew and the director with equal respect. One actor said, "All the good things you hear about Keanu, they're true and probably watered down. You can feel the suspense in these moments." Big celebrities, people used to being the center of attention, suddenly become fans themselves. They get nervous smiles, genuine laughs, and wide-eyed respect. Some openly fangirl in interviews, admitting they grew up watching him and still feel butterflies meeting him. Lesser-known fact, during filming, Keanu often hangs back to chat with crew members about their families or ideas. He remembers names. He asks real questions. In an industry full of power trips, this quiet humility hits like a plot twist. Stars walk away saying the same line over and over, "He's the nicest guy in Hollywood." Why does this matter so much? Because when people who have seen every kind of ego meet Keanu, their reactions feel honest. No scripts, no PR spin, just pure, surprised admiration. And that makes you lean in closer. What other secrets does this humble man hold? Even outside movie sets, Keanu's daily choices keep surprising people. Picture this dramatic scene. Keanu Reeves, worth hundreds of millions, standing in the rain outside his own rap party. Security didn't recognize him and wouldn't let him in. Instead of pulling rank, he waited patiently like everyone else. No anger, no demands, just quiet acceptance. He rides the New York subway. He sits on park benches eating lunch. He takes long flights and patiently answers every kid's question. At airports, you'll find him smiling through endless photo requests instead of rushing away. One heartwarming lesser-known story. He once sat on the sidewalk with a homeless man for 2 hours, sharing food and conversation. No cameras rolling. No story leaked for likes. Just two humans connecting. He's taken big pay cuts on major films so the visual effects team and supporting crew could get fair wages. On John Wick sets, he works closely with stunt performers and gives them full credit for the action sequences. "We're all in this together," he often says. Fans share story after story. He listens to children's excited movie talk without rushing them. He stays calm when crowds swarm him. Even after massive success, he downplays his own achievements and lifts others up. These everyday habits create the biggest suspense of all. How does one man face tragedy, losing loved ones, battling personal storms, and still choose kindness every single day? The answer seems simple yet powerful. Keanu doesn't chase the spotlight. He doesn't build walls. He stays human. And that choice wins over everyone, from nervous co-stars to total strangers. You watch these moments and start asking yourself deeper questions. What would happen if more people lived like this? How much better would our own lives feel if we copied even a little of his quiet humility? The stories keep coming, each one proving the same truth. Keanu Reeves doesn't just play heroes on screen. In real life, he quietly becomes one. So after all these heartwarming stories, one big question hangs in the air. Why does Keanu Reeves' quiet way of living hit us so hard right now? In a Hollywood dripping with flash, private jets, and carefully built images, he stands out like a plot twist no one saw coming. Think about it. Every day we scroll past celebrities flexing luxury cars, screaming for attention, or starting drama for views. Then there's Keanu, riding the subway, waiting in the rain outside his own party, and treating strangers like old friends. It feels almost rebellious. Why does this man, who could easily live like a king, choose the simple path instead? The answer pulls you in deeper the more you learn. Lesser-known fact, despite billions in box office earnings and a net worth most people can't imagine, Keanu has quietly given away huge portions of his salary on multiple films. On the Matrix sequels, he took major pay cuts so the crew, stunt teams, and effects artists could get properly paid. He never bragged about it. He just did it. That single choice says more than any red carpet speech ever could. His life hasn't been easy. That's what makes his kindness feel dramatic and real. He lost his best friend River Phoenix young. He lost a stillborn child and the woman he loved in a tragic accident. His sister fought cancer for years. Many people would turn cold or chase distractions after pain like that. Keanu turned inward and chose compassion. He once sat on a sidewalk for hours sharing lunch with a homeless man. No cameras, no publicity, just two humans talking. Moments like these make you pause and wonder, what would I do in his place? Here's where the real suspense builds. In today's world of cancel culture, viral outrage, and constant performance, Keanu proves something powerful. Kindness and humility don't make you weak. They make you unforgettable. Celebs don't respect him because of his fame. They respect him because he's genuine. No ego walls. No fake persona. Just a good human who listens, shows up, and lifts others up. That authenticity feels rare and addictive. Millions online can't stop sharing his clips, not for drama, but for the warm feeling they leave behind. His story spreads because it gives us hope. In a time when success often looks loud and selfish, Keanu shows a different route. Stay grounded. Treat the intern the same as the director. Remember names. Give credit. Take time for people even when you're tired. These small acts stack up into something massive. You start asking yourself the big questions. What if we all lived a little more like Keanu? Would our workplaces feel less toxic? Would our social media feeds feel less angry? Would our own lives carry more quiet joy? His example quietly challenges us. It whispers that you don't need to be perfect or famous to matter, you just need to be kind. Even bigger twist? Keanu's humility keeps opening new doors for him. After quieter years, John Wick exploded and made him a bigger star than ever. He didn't chase the comeback. It found him because people genuinely root for him. That's the ultimate suspense. When you stop forcing success and start focusing on being decent, life often surprises you in beautiful ways. His influence reaches far beyond Hollywood now. Kids watch his interviews and learn it's cool to be respectful. Adults facing hard times see his story and find strength to keep going with grace. Fans share his moments not to gossip, but to remind each other that good people still exist. So here's the takeaway that hits home. We can all learn from this. You don't need millions or millions of followers to make a difference. Start small. Be kind when no one's watching. Stay grounded even when life gets loud. Treat people well even when it's inconvenient. Those choices build the kind of respect that lasts. Keanu Reeves didn't set out to become an internet hero or the nicest guy in Hollywood. He simply stayed true to himself through pain, success, and everything in between. And that choice changed how millions see what real strength looks like. In a world starving for authenticity, his story feels like a quiet revolution. It makes you wonder, what small humble act could you do today that might ripple out farther than you ever imagined? The answer might just surprise you, the same way Keanu keeps surprising all of us. Keanu Reeves isn't perfect, but his hidden humility turns heads everywhere. The man who once waited in pouring rain outside his own party and quietly gave away salary so his crew could eat better, leaves us all wondering, how does one person stay this real? That's exactly why celebs and millions of us can't stop admiring him. Now tell me, who's your favorite Keanu moment? Drop it below. Like if this warmed your heart, subscribe for more wholesome stories, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.